What up? What up? What's going on? Uh, Welcome to my next video. This is a video where I'll be breaking down Just Mercy. Uh, Before I go into breaking down the actual video or the book, I want to just first get take you back to how I got to that point of actually checking out the book or the DVD. All right, so one day, I was out cleaning my yard and uh I normally like just, listen to music just to help, get just get in that groove or whatever. And I normally listen to Spotify and like I I just for some reason I wanted to listen to a podcast. Sometimes I listen to podcasts. Sometimes I listen to music, but this time I wanted to listen to a podcast. And I went on to see Super Soul Sunday. Super Soul Sunday is a podcast with by Oprah, and I used to listen to it back in the days. Like I I I think probably like what 2015. Like I done heard some good interviews that she did, so I just wanted to go back to listen because it's been a while since I had listened to it. So I listened to a few episodes, and I came across this one episode that said 30 years on death row, and I went on ahead and listened to it. The person she interviewed was Anthony Ray Hinton, and he was just sharing his story of how he got wrongly convicted back in 1985, which when I was born. Yeah, when I was born. But he was just breaking down like just so much stuff that like a spiritual understanding of things that happen to the innocent. And it was just a lot of stuff in there that you know I was just engaged into it. I think it had two parts. And he if just to throw a little bit more, so he got convicted for like two murders that he didn't do. He wasn't nowhere in the area, but he was convicted, and he was saying that this white policeman basically just wanted to pin it on him. So because he was black, and basically the cop was racist in the 80s at that. So yeah, so I listened to it, and I like I said, I was just totally into it, and not knowing that I've I've already listened to this podcast before. Like so it's just, to me, whenever stuff happen like that, it's like it's destined for me to like do is this story is for me. Like I listened to it twice, and it was just still good. It was still like amazing to me. So what I ended up doing was, I wanted to go deeper into, understanding it. So I think I looked at some of his interviews on YouTube later on, this later. Uh and I think I put his name in Google. And when I did it, I seen that Ice Cube son O'Shea played him in a movie called Just Mercy. And I was like, dang, they got a movie about this that I ain't even know nothing about. So I went to looking at it. Then it said it had Michael B. Jordan on there. The cover looked familiar, but I still can't put two and two. And then I seen Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx played another guy. I played a guy on there, and the guy he played was Anthony McMillan. Walter McMillan. I said Anthony. Walter McMillan, and Walter McMillan was in the same boat where he was wrongly convicted, and I was like, I'm gonna go check out the movie. So when I got into the movie, man, like one, I knew it looked familiar. What I realized is like later on after watching it is that I seen this movie before. But I mean the movie was very, very good. Like I said, it got um Jamie Foxx in it, Ice Cube son in it, Michael B. Jordan in it, and the story itself is just good. It's true. I love truths. That's why I love the Bible. It's history. Like I'm into history documentaries, all that stuff. So I was just like just amazed by it or whatever, man. And just going to Walter McMillan's story, like he same story, kind of like Anthony Rahan, where he was convicted of murder. That on a crime that he wasn't nowhere near. He had plenty of witnesses and everything, but they pinned it on him and they put him on death row. And Michael B. Jordan plays a lawyer, Brian Stevenson. Am I getting it right? Brian Stevenson? Yeah, Brian Stevenson. And this lawyer is basically just uh, coming to Alabama trying to help people that's on death row. Uh, and as he's doing that, he's finding out that a lot of these people are innocent, and that he needs to try to help them. Like at first, it was like death row was like inhumane. I think that's was his viewpoint at first, but then it came to a point where he was realizing that a lot of these people are innocent, and that's the reason why he took that case with Walter McMillan, and then that led on to Anthony Ray Hinton, uh, and then this book. For one, if you ever get time to look at a movie, well, I ain't gonna say get time. You need to make time to watch Just Mercy, a great movie. Uh, but there's a book that I want to talk about, Just Mercy, and this is different from the actual movie. This is Brian Stevenson, just memoir, I guess, memoir. I'm not good with words, but I guess that's the how you can say it. But so in this book, he is just going through like all the cases that he done, went through, like, and overall, like, just to break down like his mission, like he is representing poor people who you know don't have the funds to be able to go to court, get a good lawyer and defend themselves, and that mostly be like black people or low income white people. But for the most part, it was like a lot of black people back in the days, because a lot of black people was low income. Then it was the disabled people who uh not mentally able to just be able to recognize the crime that they did. A lot of people end up getting off or going to the crazy house because of their mental health. But he coming across people that's getting sent to death row. Everybody, what I'm talking about, are getting sent to death row. That's what he focusing on, death row. So like I said, you have people who that's not mentally capable of uh understanding what it is, or the severity of the things that they did, or the crime that they did. And he's just trying to help them out, get them off death row, and plead their case. He's also helping, of course, the innocent, those that, like Walter McMillan and Anthony Rahan, who is wrongly convicted of crimes that they didn't do. He's also helping out children. There are a lot of children that are on death row. I can't remember the numbers. He got all the numbers. Like, he's telling you every bit of it in this book. But it's a lot of children that we don't know about that's getting sent to death row. And it's like, from his point of view, is that, these children are not at an age same way like the mentally disabled. Like, these children are not mature enough to understand the severity of their crime. So it's like, we shouldn't punish them to death because of that. Maybe they can get some years, which that's what he tried to do, is lower their sentences. But they shouldn't be sent to death because of a mistake that they made at 12, 13, 15, and stuff like that. uh and then also he's talking about tons of women who are being convicted and sent into prison. I mean, not prison, but to death row. And you know is the society that we're living in now, whereas predominantly men, or I don't know if I want to say predominantly man, but that it's a patriotic society where men are ruling. And because of that, there are a lot of women who are going to these courts and are unable to be represented fairly, and they're getting sent to these uh, to death row or prison. And tons of things is just happening. And like I said, he breaks it all the way down, man, in this book, man. Please get this book. This book, I am definitely, I saved it uh in my catalog. What I mean by that is I bought the book, so make sure you get this book. Even if you don't read, you can get the audio book, which I haven't read this book yet. I listened to the audio book, which is amazing. I will listen to it again. I think it's like 7 hours. That's how great it is. I think Brian Stevenson is actually reading that book. And like, he does a great job with keeping you engaged, and just a wealth of information. And the stories, man, if you hear some of these stories, like Just Mercy, like, everybody needs to be able to look at more than just their side of things, or their little bubble. You need to know what's going on in other places. And I feel like that helps you be a little bit more aware and understanding and grateful, because some of these stories on here, like, it really make you think, and realize that if you in a bad situation, it ain't as bad as some of these folks on here, especially those that's innocent. Like I said, Anthony Ray Hitton, like, he ended up doing 30 years in prison. He didn't get out until 2015, and he was convicted in I think 1985, and he didn't do it. Like, that's the sad thing about it, is this man got convicted for 30 years, then he didn't do it, and still got to keep a smile on his face. So, it make you just realize, when you going through little small things, like, you really need to reflect on, what you complaining about, because there's people that's going through far worse. Uh, Also, you need to be able to identify, because what the whole thing about Just Mercy is that um, he tried to help you see other people stories, like how they got to that point. how did they get to the point where they murdered this person? How did they get to the point where they did the things that they did that caused them to get on death row? Like, that's what we need to be thinking about, because if we solve some of these issues, people might not get to that point. You know what I mean? Like, it's one guy who was on death row. I forgot his name, but he was saying, right before they were putting him in the electric chair, how they was getting him food, how they were asking for this, how they asking him, trying to just make his day better. And he couldn't understand how he was treated so good at this moment right before his death. He ain't never get that, while he was, living, before he went to death row. Like, where was all this love at? And it's sad, man, because that's how it be. People be talking about folks getting their roses, how people, they try to love you after you dead and stuff like that. And it's like, man, we need to be doing stuff right now. We need to be understanding right now. We need to be in people's lives right now and understanding, and not, pointing fingers. And if you're a Christian, you supposed to understand this, because this is what Christ, this Just Mercy book, this is what Christ all about. It's all about being able to see, you know, other people, you know what I mean? One, know that you flawed. We all flawed, you know. There's things that you done did. I speak about it. This is why it aligns with my God's grace story. That's the reason why I'm doing this. I feel like God pushed me to do this review at this moment, because I was speaking about God's grace and how I'm all messed up. All these stories that, where I was, there was a lot of things that I did that I didn't get convicted. I didn't go to death row. I didn't die. And I'm still here. And, some people might look at me, oh, you're a great person. But it's like, to me, I know the truth. I know there's plenty of things that I woulda, coulda, shoulda did or did do. You know what I mean? So I can't be judging, other people's situations. All right. But yeah, like I said, Just Mercy, great book. Please go read it. If you don't want to read it, please listen to the audio book like I did. You can, get a free trial on I think audible.com and listen to it. You can go to Spotify and listen to it. I listen on Spotify and Audible. And also, look at the movie, because it's a great movie. It's like you get so much insight just by looking at all three. And check out the interview with Anthony Ray Hinton on Super Soul Sunday with Oprah. Like, that's another great, great podcast, great episode, man. It's like I said, he got a lot of stuff filled in that I'm gonna bring out later on, that he said that's biblical, that's like, it's spiritual, very spiritual stuff that people don't bypass and not even realize what he just said or whatever. But yeah, go check those three things out. Also, after this video, I'll be doing uh, a reaction to a 60-minute video on Walter McMillan. So the story on that is, when Brian Stevenson tried to help Walter McMillan, I think he tried to, shoot for a retrial, and he used the guy who actually, the how what the cops did was, they got somebody to say that they saw Walter McMillan kill the person and he was with them. I mean, was with him. And they actually got the guy to be able to come back and say that, hey, he didn't do it. You know, they show all the evidence that, Walter McMillan didn't do it, just everything. And still, even then, the judge denied the retrial. And what ended up happening was they went to 60 Minutes. 60 Minute grabbed a hold of it, and they started just getting all the information. They put it out there to the world to see. So now the world seeing, they viewing it. And then Brian Stevenson, I think I'm saying it right. Brian Stevenson ended up taking it to Supreme Court, where that's when Walter McMillan ended up getting freed or whatever. So uh I wanna do a reaction to that 60 Minute, because the 60 Minute is, man, is just on point. It really breaks it down. Even when you look at the 60 Minute, you'll be like, man, there's no way that this man's supposed to be in jail or on death row. There's something fishy about this. And I feel like it just got so much truth in it. Like, so much, when you realize like what's going on, man, you be like, wow. And I think that that I think that that's gonna, it came out, I think, in the 90s, and what it is, 2024, like, I think it's gonna continue on. Like, this is part of history that, like, it ties into the Bible, which I'm going to present, a biblical understanding of that 60 Minute video or that whole situation. All right. So make sure you go check that out. Uh, and like I said, man, great, 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 great book. Just Mercy. Great guy, Brian Stevenson. Shout out to him for doing what he doing. I love it. I'm gonna follow him until he die, and after that, because he's doing an amazing job. Uh, and I guess that's it. I'm gonna read a quote that he had in his book, and I ended off with that. So the quote is by Reinhold Niebuhr. Think he like German or something. I'll post it up on the front. Reinhold Niebuhr. All right. And it says, love is the motive, but justice is the instrument. All right. And I'm going to end it off with that, man. Love, 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 love. Just mercy. All right. Thanks for watching. And as always, man, blessings. Have a blessed day. May God bless you. All that good stuff. All right.